Episode 61. What goes around, comes around. This is Grizzly's Growls, the life and times of a minor local celebrity. It's about imagination. And it's about knowledge. It's about celebrating love and life, loyalty and liberty, and sometimes lunacy. And it's about 20 minutes, maybe a little more. So let's get started, shall we? Welcome back. Nice to see you all in your places with bright, smiling faces. I think today's show is going to be essentially all about the show itself. Since this is what I do for fun, this is pretty much me talking about how I spent my days anyway. I did go to Android on Friday night for karaoke. It was fun. It went pretty well. I think I sang pretty good. I did notice this pretty young blonde lady staring at me from across the bar. I admit it's hard not to stare at me, I suppose. I was wondering if she was maybe a listener to the show who felt compelled to come down and see what I actually looked like. And if so, hi there, pretty young blonde lady. Come up and say hi sometime. I don't bite. Well, I haven't in a long time anyway. I'm having one of those days where I'm continuously distracted by something. I've spent the last 2 days moving things around on the websites. I figure I better get this thing recorded before the weekend's over and I'm behind schedule again. It's about 80 degrees outside. Way, way too hot to record indoors. Got the dog sitting on the porch here too, so I'm being an audio slob and recording on the front porch with all the traffic noises and the occasional screaming neighbor's kid and the passing cars and the joys of urban living. Part 1. Comments and Responses. First, here's a word from a friend with a mellifluous voice and a fellow podcaster, Nobilis.
Hi, my name is Nobilis, and I am a podcaster. You may have heard of me, but even if you haven't, I'd like to take a minute or so of your time and talk about being a good podcast listener. The vast majority of podcasters don't get paid. Most of them work hard to craft the best audio and video content they know how. Some of them ask you for donations, some of them ask you to buy their stuff, some of them ask you for votes. But there's one thing nearly all of them appreciate, and that's feedback. It can be hard to give a podcaster feedback. Many of you are listening in the car or on the job or working out or doing chores. It can be difficult to remember to send feedback when you won't be near a phone or a computer for an hour or more after listening to the show, and so often one show just blurs into the next. Sometimes you don't feel like you have anything meaningful to say. I can relate to that. Sometimes I feel that way when I'm recording my show. But let me tell you, the podcaster whose work you're listening to right now doesn't care if you're contributing some great observation to the global consciousness. He just wants to hear from you, even if all you say is, I'm a listener and I like what I hear. So try this. Once a month, sit down with your podcatcher, whether it's iTunes or Juice or just a list of links in your browser, and scroll through the list. Pick out a dozen or so that you feel have given you something valuable, whether it's a moment of joy or a sparkle of truth or a cathartic tear, and tell them. Make a comment on the website, send in an email, make an audio comment, whatever works for you. Think of it like paying the monthly podcasting bill. And the best part is, paying this bill won't drain your bank account. The true wonder of podcasting is that the people who produce them are so incredibly accessible. They're just ordinary folks like me and you. Well, except for T. Morris. But that's neither here nor there. My point is that we want to hear what you have to say, even if it's just a few words of encouragement. Thank you for your time, and remember, in order for us to be attention whores, we do need to get paid once in a while.
Thanks, Nobilis. I couldn't have said it better myself, although I may try to say it better myself a bit later. For those of you who have been kind enough to drop me a line, maybe a comment on the website, maybe an email, maybe a call on the comment line, a tweet on Twitter, a thank you. I really appreciate hearing from you, even if it's just to say hi. I never really know what I'm doing right, and I sure as heck don't know what I'm doing wrong, or I wouldn't keep doing it. Seth Harwood stopped by the website to discuss my review of Jack Palm's 3 last time. He was very nice about it, and I still say it's a good book. It's as good as Jack Palm 2. It is worth reading. It just wasn't right for me. Shauno stopped by the website. He mentioned he'd taken that same Aspie quiz that I told you about in the last show. Put a big link on the website if you're interested in taking the quiz for yourself. It's about halfway down on the right-hand hand sidebar on the webpage with a way too big graphic, but I didn't want to tinker with it too much. It's the graphic from the guy's website. It links back to the test itself. I have taken a few other online tests for the Spectrum in the past. Dr. Tony Atwood has the most reputable that I know of. It's been a while since I've looked for any. You might want to take the quiz even if you're not on the Spectrum. It may give you a better perspective on some folks you might know. Say me, for example. Part 2, Amazing Times. I had a couple of remarkable things happen with the show. I know I should be talking about actual stuff in my life and such, but this is a big part of my life, and this was just too cool. I mean, for one thing, I've been getting downloads of my shows pretty consistent rate for a few months now. I usually do a show a week, or try to, 4 shows a month, that would be. So, and I was getting roughly 400 downloads a month, so an average of, say, 100 a show, more or less. Well, lately, things have gone just a little bit crazy. Last month, you folks downloaded almost 600 shows. A big part of that was downloads of the show with the Duluth speech on there, through the link on Perfect Duluth Day. I had more than 100 downloads within the first 2 or 3 days of this month. I mean, all that may not mean much to you, but since most listeners go to the website to download rather than using that RSS feed thing or iTunes or some other podcast collection site, I think what happens is someone hears one show, says, gee, that's kind of cool, and they go back and they get some past shows, and from what I can see, folks are basically going back to get all the past shows, every damn one of them. Some of them much more popular than others. I'm flattered. I'm humbled. I'm thoroughly confused. I don't know if I have that much of interest to say, but I'm pleased that you folks find me worth listening to till this show, and I'm rambling on incoherently in a too noisy environment. Also, you may remember me bragging a while ago. About the show's popularity on Podcast Pickle. One of the larger podcast aggregators out there, I guess is possibly the oldest, I'm not real sure. Anyways, it turns out Grizzly's Growls is now the 55th most popular show on Podcast Pickle. Out of 9,726 podcasts overall, we're 55th. 47th most popular audio podcast, so we're now in the top 50. And, drum roll please, out of the 313 different podcasts in the society genre, Grizzly's Growls is the number 1 podcast. Now, hey, I mean, it's one site. One site, one genre. It only means that folks on that site, and that site alone, download more of my shows than the other shows in that genre. But, hey, number 1 out of 313 is still pretty cool. And the number 2 show in the genre is from NPR, National Public Radio. Anytime I can sit on my front porch with a laptop and record a show that's more popular anywhere with anyone than something recorded by NPR, I'm stunned. And it's more popular than some of the PBS shows, Public Broadcasting System, something like that. It's more popular than Andy Rooney, for Pete's sake. I mean, more popular on that site, anyway. I don't know what they think over on iTunes. And for that matter, considering I'm more popular than Andy Rooney, I wonder if 60 Minutes is going to be hiring now. 60 Minutes with, and a few minutes with Grizzly Smith. I've never been a popular sort of a guy. I'm just too hard to get along with when you actually meet me. So for me to be number 1 or number anything in a popularity contest is something new for me. I have no idea what to say about that. No idea what I might be doing right. I'm a little bit afraid I'm going to stop doing something I don't know that I'm doing, and you folks will stop listening. But hey, it's all up to you. Thanks for keeping up the good work.
For President of the United States of America. For President of the United States of America. Blacks and whites, Hispanics and Asians and Native Americans, young and old, gay and straight, rich and poor. I love you back. I do. The American people, so the American people, so the American people, so the American people, now the American people, so the American people, now the American people, so the American people.
What the heck was that? Well, that was something new from my friend TR Kelley. Put together some musical noodling by the Raventones with some samples from Barack Obama's speech the other day, acknowledging that, yes, he is going to be the Democratic candidate for president. Thought that was pretty cool, and wanted to share that with you. I figured something called Vote Barack, He Loves You Back was appropriate in our little love fest here. Part 3, Books and Bills. Now the next bit I'm a bit uncomfortable with, since it involves money, but I suppose it makes sense to make sure you know this new stuff is there. Anyway, here's a way you can help out the show by doing the stuff that you might have planned on doing anyway. Yesterday I was thinking about the various audiobooks I've reviewed on the show over the past year or so. And I've been hearing that some of the books I've reviewed have ended up getting published on actual paper by various publishers. In particular, I remember hearing about Seth Harwood's first novel, Jack Wakes Up. It's now available on Amazon.com, and Seth made a big promotional push for the release of that on the podcast feed novel of Jack Palms 3. That's where I heard about it. And I gather, as it turned out, Jack Wakes Up hit number 1 in book sales on Amazon's website, Well, I figured it'd be a good idea to put a link on my website to Seth's book on Amazon.com. And while I was poking around trying to figure out how to do that, I came across the Amazon affiliate program. So I signed up. Basically, I can put up links on my website to books or to any other items on Amazon.com. And if folks click on the links on my site and go to buy the items, I get a little money. Just not a lot, but some penny on a dollar or something. And while I was figuring out how to link to Seth's book that way, I found something called a widget. It's something called a favorites widget in particular. It's a little graphical thing he runs on the website, manages all the stuff that I decide to link to, so I can put all the links in one place. So, I went back, I dug through the show notes from all my old shows, I looked for all the different books I reviewed off of padiabooks.com. I always provided a link to the padiabooks.com version, which is free, and I checked to see if they were available on Amazon.com. So now I have this widget thing on my website. And inside it are affiliate links to all of the 10 or 15 books I've reviewed that are now available there. Even found a link to the biography of a grizzly book by Ernest Thompson Seton that I've been trying to read on Stories from Hibernation. That's available on there now, too. So, if you're planning on buying one of the books anyway, and you want to help support this show, please find the one you're looking for in the widget and click on the link. You don't have to. I'm not obligated to. I'm just saying. I also included a link to a Samson Zoom H2 on there. Same sort of recorder I use for the show. If you're interested in getting one for yourself, in case you want to start your own podcast and become rich and world famous like myself. I also included a link to the closest I could find to the new laptop I just got. I can vouch for both. I've used both of them for a while, the Samson for much longer than the computer. I'm recording the current show on the Samson, on the porch, if you're wondering about sound quality. Can't blame the cars going by on the Samson, but it's kind of a cool gadget, and if you ever want to get one, there's a link in the widget thingy where you can get one, and I get some credit for it. Or you can just, if you want to, you don't have to, but you want to, you can use the more general purpose affiliate link just under the donate button. You remember the donate button, and that'll take you to Amazon.com, and it'll tell them that Grizzly sent you. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's kind of cool to be able to do that sort of stuff. Won't make a darn bit of difference in your price. It might get a deal on something. I'm not really sure how that works out. Anyway, if you do use it, thanks in advance. Anyway, as I said, I've spent all of the last 2 days fiddling with links and graphics and whatnot on the websites and not recording stuff. Computer stuff is easy. Recording is not easy. Figuring out things to say is not easy. But it feels so darn good when it's finished, you know what I mean? Part 4. Almost Cut My Hair. Remember that old David Crosby song? Almost cut my hair just the other day. It was getting kind of long. Could have said that it just wasn't my way. But I didn't, and I wonder why I keep letting my freak flag fly. But I feel like I owe it to someone. All props to David Crosby, who wrote the song, recorded the song, sang it a lot better than I ever did. Anyway, thinking about that, my hair. Let me tell you, my hair has gotten really frickin' huge. I wanted to grow my hair long since I was a kid back in the 1960s, and I've tried a few times. That's how I got the nickname Grizzly in the first place, since cab drivers down in Michigan, I thought it looked a bit like Grizzly Adams. At least they didn't think I looked like the Unabomber. Kind of sadly, my hair does not grow long. It grows thick. It grows wide. The back of my head right now is not a ponytail, not even close. It's more of a ragged slab of hair of varying lengths, very, very thick, curving around under my ears. I mean, you should see me when I roll out of bed in the morning on the way to the shower for work. No, actually, you shouldn't see me. It is a sight to frighten small children. The dog starts whining and hides behind the couch. I mean, I would still like to get it to grow out long and get me the old guy ponytail thing going, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I have to have some sense and cut it down to a decent length. I've mostly had it pretty short over the years. My dad had a crew cut coming back from World War II, as he did, and of course I had a crew cut when I was a young kid too. I did get fairly shaggy in high school, but never really long, just lots of hair sticking out sideways. And then I went in the military. I got a crew cut of my own. Works well when you're wearing a baseball cap. Add to that, I'd probably have to look for a new job pretty soon. My employers are cutting back my hours again. I can't get by on a part-time telemarketing job, especially when I have to commute to another state to do. And, of course, nobody at a job interview is going to want to see me walking in with 75 pounds of hair on my head. Kind of a shame, though. I mean, now I'm old enough. I can do what I want. I'm not in the military. I'm not cooking. The length of my hair has no impact on my ability to do my job. It's only fair that I should be able to let it grow out. But I got to get a decent paying job, maybe even a good paying job. I feel like I owe it to someone. And that's all I have to say about that for the moment. Thanks for listening, and for your patience in listening, and your kindness in not complaining about my incessant whining. Drop me a line sometime. I look forward to hearing from you. I miss your face. You never write, you never call. Maybe a nice postcard. Buy a nice book. You should read more. The It Doesn't Suck list tune today is an excellent little folk tune called 40th Floor from American Gypsy, she calls herself, out of Ham Lake, Minnesota. Interesting sound. Interesting lady, too. Link in the show notes, as always. Talk at you later. Thank you very much for listening to Grizzly's Growls, the life and times of a minor local celebrity. If you like the show, we'd like to hear from you. Create your own comment at the website hosted by Liberated Syndication at grizzly.libsyn.com. Participate with a call to our comment line at 206-202-1548 or an email to grizzliesgrowls@gmail.com or in our Facebook group. And motivate others to listen. If you like the show, tell your friends. If you don't like the show, tell your enemies. This program is sponsored by donations from people just like you. Donations, whether large or small, are appreciated through the donate buttons on the Grizzlies Growls websites or via the link in our show notes. Talk at you later. This show is released under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license.
There are those who dream above the stars, above the sky. Aguego, lona da soa, scalonia de.
I've got a burning down deep in my belly, and this aching is filling my soul. I can't see the sun and I can't see the moon, and this city is out of control. I'm walking the street and it's burning my feet, and the sirens are filling my head. I see hollow eyes and I hear silent cries of the others like me walking dead. There's a place in my mind and I'm standing on top of the 40th floor, and I know that the time's come to choose. I wonder if Crazy Horse knows how I feel, 'cause I think he once stood in these shoes. I'm searching the sky for the high, lonesome cry of the hawk that I once set free. My spirit is strong, but I just don't belong. Oh my God, what's to become of me? There's a place in my mind, and I know it exists somewhere other than just in my dreams, where my spirit is home and I'm not all alone, and the silence is broken by screams of the hawk as he flies overhead. No, my hope isn't dead, and my wings are outspread as I stand with the wind in my face. There's a place in my mind, and I know it exists somewhere other than just in my dreams, where my spirit is home and I'm not all alone, and the silence is broken by screams of the hawk as he flies overhead. No, my hope isn't dead, and my wings are outspread as I stand with the wind in my face.
Aguego, Lona de Soa, Scalonia Day.